Welcome back to this tutorial series, and in this series we are going to be looking at data relationship. Of course, you now know that the way we structure our data, they are in one way related or connected to each other, and the relationship that exists between each of these database table can be any of these three, which could be either one to many or one to one and many to many. So we are going to be looking at the one to many. When we look at one to many is just a particular table having one unique entity and attached to several other ones. For example, if you look at customers table, of course you expect customers to have more than one orders, like the order today, they come back the order tomorrow, but only one order can on a particular order can only belong to a particular customer. A customer A cannot have the same order ID with the customer B, so it's definitely be different. So that is one customer can have many orders, and that is one to many relationship. And also we have the one to one. This one to one it's less popular, not very popular, but at the same time there will be times that there will be instances where you will definitely need to come across them, and this is when one record can only belong to another one record. Of course, because of the need to separate our consign, we need to put them separately in different tables. But look at a student, for example, and we look at contact information. A student can only have just one contact information, and a particular contact information can only belong to one particular student at a time. And this could be like maybe the biometric information, the fingerprint information. You know that no two person has the same fingerprint, and that's the same thing that exists here. That okay, a student having a unique description, so one contact details belong to one peculiar student, and that is one-to-one relationship. And also we have the many to many. Many to many, look at a typical example of that is that a student can be doing several courses, which could be class, and several courses too. Like a particular course can also be offered by many students. So it does not just have to be one. And take note of the fact that when you have many to many, of course you should not it's this one happen in the background. We are now going to be having a mapping table where when you connect a student to a record to a course, that's we then create a separate table for them to be mapped together. Okay, this student is doing this course, this same student is doing this another course, so that when you delete a particular course or you delete a particular student, instead of it when you delete a student, instead of it to delete the course that the student is doing, it will then come to this third table, which is the mapping table, and delete the record there. So that is the basic overview of the data relationship in Django. And now let us see it in practical example as we write our code. Now let's take note of something here that okay, there it's possible for us to, of course, you know that definitely you're going to be updating our model, we'll be put testing with some data. Why you can I've shown you two ways that by which you can add data to your database, either use the shell or use the admin interface. But for simplicity's sake and so that we not complicate issues for ourselves, we are going to be using the admin interface. We're going to be using the admin interface. And now don't forget, when we go, we are still using the same project source code, and now we confirm that we are still in the project directory. And don't forget, we are starting with one-to-many relationship. One-to-many relationship, and you start your virtual environment, which is the first thing. Start your virtual environment. Start your virtual environment. You can see now that virtual environment is on now. So now let us now come to our model. You can see now that we have the student model, which is a particular table in our database. Now let us look at, we are looking at an application that has to do with coding school. Now let's say we want to attach to each student, we want to attach a particular mentor. Okay, we have several students, but one student should have one mentor. So, but a mentor can have multiple students, and that is one to many. One student can have one mentor, but a mentor can have many students, and that is one to many. So now let's go ahead to create our mentor model. So we're going class mentor, and we do models.model. Let's create the first name of the mentor. So let's say the first name of the mentor is equals to, I've looked at this before, models dot character feed, and don't forget, when you set character feed, you should definitely set the maximum length of the character feed. I don't expect any name to be more than 50, so I duplicate that with shift alt and I press the down arrow. So now I'm going to be having my last name, going to be having the last name of the mentor, same property, and now just for uniqueness sake, I am going to be having the mentor number, just like if it's a staff. Now for example, use the staff number. So this will definitely not be a character, it will rather be an integer. Integer feed, and of course we don't need to set the maximum length here. So now that we have created our mentor model, there's something you should now do is now you need to create the relationship between the mentor and the student. So don't forget that these students can have only one mentor, but the mentor can have several students. So that means you are going to be doing the connection here where you have the unique key, where you have the, I just want to try and separate it. So here what we are doing here is trying to relate students with the mentor, which is one to one to many one to many. So now, so that means we are now going to be having the mentor in here with the student, and to connect it, because the student that can only be one, the mentor can have several students. So you don't do models to connect this, to create a relationship. You use the foreign key. Anytime you want to connect one to many relationship, you go to the one that could only have one. Like you know that the student can only have one mentor, but the mentor can have several students. So the foreign key will exist in here where you have the unique entity. So you can call it mentor or anything more descriptive that you can relate with. And but the connection is created with this foreign key, So now in this foreign key, which model are we linking to? We are linking to the model mentor, and of course there's a property called on delete, meaning that when you delete the object that is particular, when you delete the mentor, for example, so the undelete properties or attributes, we have the first one to be cascade. This cascade means that when the reference that we are, we are referencing the mentor here. So let's say we delete the mentor. This cascade means that it will automatically delete every student that is relying on the mentor. Just like, okay, for example, if you have a student and you have a supervisor, automatically if your supervisor is not in the system again, you also as a student, you might have to go. That is the meaning of this cascade. And other types that we have is the protect. This protect now, it's we anytime you want to delete a particular mentor, once it has a reference to a student or once it is attached to a student, it will stop you from deleting it. It will not allow you to delete it. That is the meaning of protect, to just to show you that okay, this thing is referencing another element, so you are not allowed to delete it until you delete the students that is referencing the mentor. Then that is when you're able to delete the mentor. Of course, you also have another one, which is to set none, and this set none is just okay, after I've deleted the mentor, then this foreign key for this field should be none. So now we also have the set default. This set default, maybe I have a default mentor that I know that for sure this mentor will not leave the system or will not be deleted. Automatically, when I delete a particular mentor that is attached to the student using this foreign key, then it will now go for the default mentor and add it to this foreign key field. And don't forget that with this, you now have to set your default value. You have to set your default value, which could be the foreign key or the ID of the particular default method that you are working with. And also you can decide to do nothing, like when the mentor is deleted and the mentor is referencing a particular student, then you should not do anything, to just give you the ability or capability for you to undo these instances manually. But the one we are going to be using in here is Cascade, meaning that once I delete a particular reference, a particular mentor that is referencing a student, then the student too that is attached to that mentor will be deleted from the system. That's Cascade. Now, but as the case may be, I've shown you other types of undelete that you can use or that might possibly apply to you.